Hello, thank you for watching the UTMB MSDI orientation. Just for an overview, we'll talk about mission statements, goals and objectives of our program, our concentration, the program faculty, our structure, site and preceptor evaluations, preceptor and student expectations, and some important dates. Our mission at UTMB is to improve the health for the people of Texas and around the world. Our mission in the School of Health Professions, where the MSDI program is housed, is to provide and promote quality education, research, and service in an environment that fosters collaboration and mutual respect. The department mission is to provide quality training for a diverse group of students in academia, healthcare, and education by integrating clinical and professional experiences with an innovative, evidence-based curriculum. And the mission for the UTMB MSDI program is to prepare a diverse population of interns for practice in public service and lifelong learning through innovative curricula and supervised practices. Our own internship mission statement builds on the department, school, and university mission statements, and it's an ACEND requirement that these are consistent with each other. So the UTMB MSDI program goals, the first one is consistent across most programs, and ACEND lets us know what we need to cover here. So it is to prepare program graduates to become competent dietitians and practitioners for employment in entry-level positions. And at least 85% of graduates will complete the program within 150% of the planned time for completion is our objective one. And so far in the program, we just have 2 classes, but 97% of our students have graduated on time. So within the typical time for planned time for a program graduation, and 100% should complete the program within 150%. Over a 5-year period, 80% of program graduates who seek employment will be employed within 12 months of program completion. We only have data for 1 class on this one because our second class just graduated, but in our first class, 87% were employed in dietetics within 7 months of program completion. And for our third objective, over a 5-year period, the pass rate for program graduates taking the registration exam will be at least 80%. So 13 out of 15 of our graduates, again, we only have data from 1 class, passed on the first attempt, and 14 out of 15 have passed on the first or second attempt. Fourth goal or objective, 80% of program graduates will rate their perception of the adequacy of the education and training provided the program is a grade or higher, and the majority of graduates do rate their perception as adequate. The second goal is more defined by us, and it is to foster a commitment to lifelong learning and prepare graduates for leadership and professional roles in the field of dietetics. So these, again, must relate back to our mission statement, and we have that commitment to lifelong learning. So over a 5-year period, at least 35% of graduate respondents will report having a leadership role in an academy affiliate. And at this point, for the survey we have, the majority of our graduates do report being members of the academy, but we've yet to collect data on this specific objective because we just developed it. Over a 5-year period, 30% of graduate respondents will report serving as preceptors. So we don't have a 5-year period post-graduation yet, but the majority of our respondents indicate that they're interested in serving as preceptors. As a part of the new 2017 standards, employer surveys of our graduates are required. So one item will be employers of program graduates indicate that at least 80% of graduates seek advanced training beyond the minimum requirements for maintaining credentials. We do have a new program concentration area. It moved from nutrition and aging to clinical and translational research, though we still value training in aging and have a number of aging-related centers and research projects going on campus. The ACEND reviewers and our own faculty and preceptors decided that clinical and translational research better was a better emphasis for us because it really helps describe our strengths and uniqueness in our program with our strong record of NIH research funding in our department. So the first concentration competency is to interpret and summarize oral research presentations of established scientists. So we have a number of very awesome seminars on campus, and so we'll require our students to attend those, and at least 4 of them, and provide written summaries of those presentations. The second one is carrying out a project and then developing an original research poster and presenting that work to faculty, preceptors, and peers. Just so you're aware, if you're not already, ACEND, our credentialing body, did release new standards and competencies in August of 2016, and these must be in place and implemented by June 1st, 2017. So we are currently working on updating our program materials to be consistent with these new standards, and quite a few significant changes have occurred. The number of standards has gone from 23 down to 10. And the standards are much more concise now. I would say that different, standards that are related to the same type of topic, for example, the budget of the program, are now in the same standard. So that streamlining is an improvement. But also, the practice competencies for the DI have changed, so it will be the responsibility of every internship director in the country to implement new projects or implement assessments of these competencies into the program. So that's something we're working on here. We need to develop new course syllabi for our rotation courses, new projects or modify existing projects and assignments, and evaluations for the MSDI program moving forward. So because of that, we're actively working on that over the holiday, and we will have these available, we anticipate, in early January for our spring rotations that our students will be doing. Since it's our first attempt at being compliant with the 2017 standards and implementing those practice competencies and evaluation of those competencies, we will definitely be asking for your feedback moving forward to figure out how to improve those projects. So these are all the nutrition and metabolism department faculty. On the top left, we have Dr. Blake Rasmussen. He is our chair of the department. To the right of him is Dr. Douglas Patton-Jones, and he's primarily a researcher. Those two are both full professors, and then everyone else in our department is an assistant professor. We have Dr. Liz Lyons, and she does behavioral health-related research. To her right is Dr. Chris Fry, and he does work in transgenic models of sarcopenia in rodents. On the bottom left, we have Professor Chris Messenger, who is a new addition to our department. He has worked in clinical dietetics at UTMB for over a decade, and also most recently was a clinical nutrition manager there and worked with our MSDI students. We're very excited to have him in our faculty now. To his right is Professor Shay Robertson, and she has expertise in clinical pediatric practice and teaches courses to dietetic students in our department. And then I am on the bottom left. I'm the program director for the MSDI program. My name is Jean Gutierrez, and I have a background in metabolism research. So here's our contact information. I'll also send all preceptors a copy of the PowerPoint so you can have all the links in the presentation and save this to your desktop if you'd like. So we'll just go over the structure of our program so you can see how we do things. Just some general information about our program. We did accept 17 students that matriculated in fall 2016 and will graduate in December 2017. We have a 16-month program. It's 4 continuous semesters back to back. And this year in 2016, in the fall, we had 2 classes overlapping for the first time, so that was new for us. The first and second semesters, fall and spring, are primarily coursework. And then the second, the summer and the second fall semesters are primarily internship rotations. And there's a couple of exceptions. We'll see that as we look closer at our program structure. This year, a little change we're going to make. We're going to share the master rotation schedule with all preceptors and all interns. Make sure everyone's aware of where to find that. And we're also going to include develop a Google Sheet with all the important links you'll need. So for evaluations and to be able to see student hours and to be able to look at this master rotation schedule, we're going to find a central place to put that so you have easy access to all these important documents for our program. So the first fall semester, students come in and they take 4 courses, and these are in the classroom in the School of Health Professions building. In the second semester, students take 4 classes, but they also complete 1 internship part-time. So our fall classes moving forward, first fall when they matriculate are Monday, Wednesday, Friday. In this spring semester, they're only going to have class on Tuesdays and Fridays, and then the other 3 days, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, are going to be available for their rotation. In the summer semester, students complete primarily in rotations, and this is just an example of how it could look. In reality, students are doing different kinds of rotations at different times. So some students will actually end with clinical. Then this is a sample rotation for the second fall, and these are the other rotations that we have. And then they also take a 1-credit professionalism class with me. I want to let you know, if you were preceptor last year, that we held this class Thursday mornings last year, and that really conflicted with students' rotation sites. So we moved the class to Monday at 4 p.m., hoping that that would create less of a conflict for students and help them get more hours on that day. So we'll try that out and see how it works. Another change to note in this slide is that we used to have an extended care course, but we've officially gotten rid of that rotation and changed it to a selective or elective course so that students can have choice in, maybe doing additional clinical or additional community if that's what they're interested in. So what we ask of preceptors, these are just some of the things. Please provide a thorough orientation to your facility for the student. Ensure that the intern will be able to complete the requirements of the rotation. So we'll give you the syllabus in advance, and it's important that the student just has the opportunity to complete any work they need to do at the site. Ensure students meet competencies and track their hours. Of course, this is on the student to do this, but it's good to kind of monitor them if you can. Create opportunities for independence. So an example is rounding independently. Students, especially in the more advanced rotations like Clinical 2, should gain more and more independence throughout that rotation. Monitor the intern's progress and provide timely feedback. So if the intern isn't seeing as many patients as they should, or isn't progressing in their note writing the way they should, or isn't progressing with their research recruitment the way they should, it's important to monitor that and then let them know how they can improve. Also in training students, kind of taking a progressive approach, so allowing them to see you do your job and then supervising them as they try to do that task, and then as they gain mastery of it, allowing that student, if possible, to teach it to another staff member or another intern is one way of doing that as well. If issues arise, we really ask that you reach out to either me, the program director, or the faculty member who is overseeing the course. And you can see which faculty members are associated with which rotation courses in a previous slide. So you can just reach out to us and let us know any issues that you are having with the interns. So for evaluation of the student's performance, we just ask that you try to stay as objective as possible. I do send out SurveyMonkey links for you to complete. They're pretty straightforward. If possible, and if you're comfortable, we encourage you to complete the final evaluation with the intern on their last day, sit down together and kind of discuss how they did. Interns will see these evaluations that you complete for them. Mid and final evaluations for rotations lasting 5 weeks or more, so we'll ask you to complete 2 evaluations. If your rotation is less than 5 weeks, then it'll just be the final evaluation. In addition to evaluating the interns, per ACEND standards and requirements, the interns also have to evaluate the preceptor and the site. So this is just a view of the form, the SurveyMonkey form that we use to evaluate preceptors and sites. And if you precept for us, I'll provide a report for you at the end of the year, kind of indicating how your interns ranked you on these different areas. And these forms can be modified as well, so, and they're a little bit different for each type of rotation. So if you have items that you have problems with, or you want to add a new one, or if there's some question you want to be added to it, I'm definitely open to modifying in any way that you think would be best. So this is another page just for clinical ones, just an example. These bottom open-ended portions are in every evaluation. If you're interested in seeing the evaluation for your rotation, you can access them through these links. I will also send out again, a PowerPoint version you can download to your desktop, so you can just click on these links in the PowerPoint. So student expectations, these are some of them. You also have access to our student handbook, so you can see all the policies and procedures. That also has our annual calendar, so you can look at their schedule and important dates for the students. So we expect them to make contact with So just some overall benefits of the internship preceptor relationship. Most of you have a lot of experience, so you already know that interns can, when they've kind of got the hang of it, act as an extension of the preceptor, which is a great thing. They can solve problems creatively. They're very smart, and they're very creative a lot of times. So if you have a particular problem, you can assign an intern to try and research it and find a solution and see what they come up with. Our students are in class for 2 semesters before they go to most of their rotation sites. So they read a lot of research papers, and they learn a lot of things that are just coming out. So sometimes they might bring up some new information that you weren't even aware of. They definitely break up the day-to-day routine. So then they definitely challenge, are a challenge sometimes, but then they just kind of can challenge the preceptor to develop their own teaching and communication skills. It's one thing to be awesome at your job, but then it's a different story to try and teach it to someone who doesn't know anything. So that's another advantage. I have seen on more than one preceptor response on the surveys for the students that the interns have been, encouragement to other staff members at times. So that's one potential benefit. And being a preceptor is a really great thing you can add to your professional development portfolio. And it's just a good, training experience, especially if you need to demonstrate that you've been teaching. And I think it's really fun to shape the future generation of registered dietitian nutritionists. It's one of the reasons I took this job here. I just wanted to work with dietetic students. I think they're, on the whole, very motivated and very smart. So it's a privilege to be able to work with these students. So here are some important dates for 2017. Students will rotate in the spring from January 9th to April 14th. Spring semester. And they have their spring break for classes March 6th to 10th. So if it's possible to allow them to be out for spring break, that's nice. If not, they understand that they still have to rotate. Summer rotations will occur from May 1st to August 11th. Fall 2017, or the final semester rotations, will occur from August 28th to December 1st. And then we have our mini commencement planned for the MSDI class on December 8th, 2017. So you can add that to your calendar now if you'd like to come. We haven't planned our quarterly meetings for preceptors yet, but they will probably alternate between Thursday and Friday afternoons, and I'll send out the invites for those soon. In summary, we just want to say thank you for being a preceptor for our program. We really value what you do, and our program wouldn't be able to exist without you. So thank you very much for your contributions, and have a great day.